Section 12 of Our Cats and All About Them. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Reading by Bologna Times. Our Cats and All About Them by Harrison Weir. Section 12. The Black and White Cat. This is distinct from the white and black cat, the ground color being black marked with white, while the other is white marked with black. The chief points of excellence for show purposes are a dense, bright brown black, evenly marked with white. Of this I give an illustration showing the most approved way in which the white should be distributed, coming to a point between the eyes. The feet should be white, and the chest, the nose, and the pads white. No black on the lips or nose. Whiskers white, eyes of orange yellow. Any black on the white portions is highly detrimental to its beauty and its chance of a prize. The same markings are applicable to the brown tabby and white, the dark tabby and white, the red tabby and white, the yellow tabby and white, the blue or silver tabby and white, and the blue and white. One great point is to obtain a perfectly clear and distinct, gracefully curved outline of color, and this to be maintained throughout. The blaze on the forehead to be central. It is stated that if a dog has white anywhere, he is sure to have a white tip to his tail, and I think, on observation, it will be found usually the case, although this is not so in the cat, for I cannot call to mind a single instance where a black and white had a white tip to its tail. But taking the various colors of the domestic cat into consideration, I think it will be found that there is a large number with some white about them than those of entirely one color, without even a few white hairs, which, if they appear at all, are mostly to be found on the chest, though they often are exceedingly few in number. The White and Black Cat. This differs entirely from the black and white cat, as just explained, and is the opposite as regards color, the ground being white instead of black, and the markings black on white. For exhibition purposes and points of excellence, no particular rule exists beyond that the exhibit shall be evenly marked, with the color distributed so as to balance, as, for example, if a cat has a black patch just under one eye with a little above, the balance of color would be maintained if the other eye had a preponderance of color above instead of below, and so with the nose, shoulders, or back, but it would be far better if the patches of color were the same size and shape and equal in position. It might be that a cat evenly marked on the head had a mark on the left shoulder with more on the right, with a rather larger patch on the right side of the loin, or a black tail would help considerably to produce what is termed balance, though a cat of this description would lose if competing against one of entirely uniform markings. I have seen several that have been marked in a very singular way. One was entirely white, with black ears; another white, with a black tail only. This had orange eyes, and was very pretty. Another had a black blaze up the nose, the rest of the animal being white. This had blue eyes, and was deaf. Another had the two front feet black, all else being white. The eyes were yellow tinted green. All these, it will be observed, were perfect in the way they were marked. I give an illustration of a cat belonging to Mr. S. Lyon of Crewe. It is remarkable in more ways than one, and in all probability, had it been born in the dark ages, a vast degree of importance would have been attached to it, not only on account of the peculiar distribution of the color and its form, but also as to the singular coincidence of its birth. The head is white, with a black mark over the eyes and ears, which, when looked at from above, presents the appearance of a fleur de lis. The body is white, with a distinct black cross on the right side, or rather more on the back than side. The cross resembles that known as Maltese in form, and is clearly defined. The tail is black, the legs and feet white. Nor does the cat's claim to notice entirely end here, for, marvelous to relate, it was born on Easter Sunday, A.D. 1886. Now, what would have been said of such a coincidence had this peculiar development of nature occurred in bygone times? There is just the possibility that the credulous would have flocked to see the wondrous animal from far and near; and even now, in these enlightened times, I learn from Mr. Lyon that the cat is not by any means devoid of interest and attraction; for, as he tells me, a number of persons have been to see it, some of whom predict that luck will follow, and that he and his household will, in consequence, doubtless enjoy many blessings, and that all things will prosper with him accordingly. Although my remarks are directed to the white and black cat, the same will apply to the white and red, white and yellow, white and tabby, white and blue, or dun color. All these, and the foregoing, will most probably have to be exhibited in the any other color class, as there is seldom one at even the largest shows for peculiar markings, with white as the ground or principal color. Section 12.